This segment of the Plastic Surgery channel is brought to you by Galatea, now offering Galaform, the first 3D mesh for soft tissue support.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Adams, and this is No Spin Live, everybody's favorite program where you get to learn about real facts in plastic surgery from the world's experts in plastic surgery. With us today, we've got Dr. Ned Snyder from Austin, Texas, Jason Posner from Boca Raton, Florida, and Kevin Smith from Charlotte, North Carolina. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Well.
Fantastic.
We got a great show today. We're going to cover botched breast surgery, the perfect female body shape, and breast implants. They could save your life. But before we get to that, last week we had a segment on breast implant ALCL, and we got a lot of questions and comments from our fans and viewers. And I thought it would be good for us to answer one of those prior to this day's show. So this is actually from a viewer, and she said that breast implants can kill you, but they're too commercial, and this is why we don't care. And she says, ask the workers who make implants or the plastic surgeons how many of their daughters or wives have breast implants. So Jason, why don't you tackle this one?
Yeah, I think this is completely false. As a matter of fact, I will tell you that my significant other has breast implants. Every single one but one of my staff has breast implants. And everybody who works here otherwise who's coming in wants breast implants. So those of us in the field really think that these are safe and that their results are predictable, they're long-lasting, and there's nothing to be afraid of. When I was in medical school, and I told this to Bill earlier, someone told me, never do anything to any patient that you wouldn't do to a family member. And I completely believe in that, and I live my daily life with that in my brain.
We proved that there was no relationship drawn between breast implants and systemic disease. Furthermore, we have VP shunts for neurosurgery and pacemakers and a lot of products out there made of silicone. Simethicone, that stuff that you take for gas, all this is silicone. And only in breast implants, not even the reconstructive implants, same thing as the breast implants we use for augmentation, but it's only the breast implants for augmentation that appear to raise some people's ire and get them fabricating these stories about systemic disease. So there's really no association proven.
I couldn't agree more with both of my colleagues on this, that breast implants have been proven over and over again to be something safe. And I think that we all agree that we wouldn't be putting anything in somebody that we thought was dangerous, and that we wouldn't do anything to a patient that we wouldn't do to a family member. I've put breast implants in family members, and in some places, more women than not have breast implants that are walking around on the street. So the act as though all of these people are going to get sick is just far-fetched.
Yeah, it's funny that I guess this is one instance where we all agree, but I certainly agree with you guys, and I find it a little bit insulting, actually. And Ned, you said it well. I mean, it's ridiculous to say that plastic surgeons, we would do things that we wouldn't do to our family members, because that's just being a good doctor and a good surgeon. Why would you do anything that you wouldn't do to your family member? Because we try to do things the best we can and give patients their best results. So, and I too, I have five, counted them up, 5 people in my extended family have breast implants, and they're all doing well, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it to somebody if I felt like I was going to help them. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get into today's show. First story is out of China. A woman sues the hospital for apparently a botched breast surgery that was performed by an oral surgeon that didn't have the proper training to do the procedure. And I'd imagine, Kevin Smith, you're going to have something to say about this.
Finally, a hospital is going to be made to take responsibility whether they like it or not. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of unqualified surgeons doing procedures in hospitals, basically unregulated, and somebody needs to be the patient's advocate and make sure these surgeons are qualified and trained to do the jobs they're doing. Clearly, this woman was injured. She had her breast destroyed, or so says the article, by a doc who really wasn't trained to do this. How was he allowed to get privileges to do this operation?
So a similar sort of story happens almost daily within this country of people who don't have a background, don't have training, aren't board certified in whatever specialty that may be. In our case, we're more concerned about plastic surgery, but this happens within all specialties as well. People doing doing surgeries that they shouldn't be credentialed to do or may not be credentialed to do without an oversight to restrict that.
Jason, why is it that this is really unique to cosmetic surgery? Because you don't see people going to a dentist to have brain surgery, right?
You know what? I don't really understand, guys. I'm a little confused. How did he get the implant in through the mouth? I really am confused by this story. I think we should move on.
One last thing, interesting, Louisiana just passed a law, and this is the first state to do it, that requires that somebody who is advertising to do a procedure and saying they're board certified, that board certification needs to be related to the procedure that they're advertising. So finally, I think patients are going to be protected from all those wannabes who are trying to do plastic surgery and are unqualified to do so.
All right, well, the second story, actually, this comes from Jason Posner. Jason, so I'm gonna let you start, but it's a story about the perfect female body shape. And they surveyed men from 10 countries, and they're asked to rank a series of body shapes from the most attractive to the least attractive. And they found, well, Jason, tell us what they find.
It was an interesting story because there was they showed the progression of body shapes throughout the ages. They looked at ancient times when a more plump figure was considered sexy and attainable, and it went to a more modern stage where they looked at the Roaring 20s, where people were flappers and thin, to the heroin generation of the 90s, to a more athletic look that we have now. There are also regional differences. You know, if you go to the Middle East, people would like a little bit of a plumper look. But I live in Boca Raton, Florida, and you guys all live in areas that are somewhat sunny, where we have a lot of fit people. I think 2017, this is the era of pretty much fit. People don't want to be too thin, they don't want to be too fat, but they want to be toned, they want to look proportional, they don't want to look over the top.
It seems like this study was done by a few anthropologists who are looking to see whether what is an attractive figure is evolutionarily dictated. You know, is this hardwired in our genes? But realistically, there's no accounting for taste. And some women look good in one size, another, and it goes on and on. So it's all a very individual thing.
So Ned, does that hold true in Austin, Texas?
I do think that the fit body type is definitely in, as we see more of it now as opposed to 15 years ago. People don't want giant butts, giant boobs. They want things that seem natural, and a lot of the cosmetic surgery world is moving towards things that are natural and that are just fixing, from a liposuction standpoint, fixing problem areas, people, places that people can't lose weight.
Jason, so are we going to be disappointed when they come out with the ideal body type for men? Because we don't fit it.
I think so. That's because we're in the OR all the time. I think we need to be not at so many meetings, and I could be on my Stairmaster instead of being on this call with you guys.
One of the problems with papers like this is it really gives women an unrealistic expectations. They come in wanting this socially perceived ideal body type. And that leads to a lot of disappointed women because we can't do that for them. And women need to embrace themselves and find beauty in that, and we need to help them along with realistic expectations and surgeries. But there is no perfect body type for everybody.
So the last story, this is out of the UK from the Daily Mail. And I don't know, Daily Mail has never had anything crazy in it, but I think you guys are going to want to clarify this. They have this thing in there. It's how fake boobs could save your life because the breast implant actually can reduce gunshot injuries by protecting vital organs. Is this fact or fiction?
Well, there's some fact and some fiction here. So the story that they highlighted, there's a woman who actually testified in court that breast implant saved her life because she survived a gunshot wound. The bullet passed through her right arm, through her right breast, through her left breast, and through her left arm. It never entered her chest cavity. And whether she had breast implants or not, it never seemingly would have entered her chest cavity. I'm sure that the bullet was slowed down by the fact that it did have to pass through breast implants versus if it had just passed through breast tissue alone. but the bullet still passed all the way through her. And had it been aimed in the other direction, I think it would have gone through her breast and implant through her chest and her heart and would have killed her.
Kevin, you think Kevlar vest or breast implant? What's better?
I'd go with the Kevlar vest. The study, they got really smart about this and put an implant next to a piece of ballistic gel, which simulates a human body, and then shot it from 2.5 yards away with a handgun. And it said that the bullet went 20% shorter distance than without the breast implant. So if the chest is, say, 6 inches deep, then the bullet only goes 5 inches into the chest. So seriously, this isn't going to make a difference.
And Jason, there's that sad story, it was like 2-3 weeks ago. The guy had somebody shoot him through the Encyclopedia Britannica or some big thick dictionary, and that didn't stop the bullet.
Today is my day for looking at visual aids. Breast implant, Glock. If I take this Glock and shoot this breast implant and took this, do you think this thing is going to stop this bullet from getting into it? I don't think so. Although we've heard people get into car accidents where the breast implant maybe took a little bit of the force of the airbag. I can see that, but this guy is going right through this guy into this guy. So I don't think so.
So only if you're using a water gun or a cork gun will a breast implant protect your vital organs.
Right.
That's the take-home message. All right, well, that's good stuff, guys. I think the viewers are going to appreciate all those insights, and certainly if you want to see more of this, you can see it on theplasticsurgerychannel.com.